Pickleball, often described as a combination of tennis, ping pong, and badminton, grew nearly 40% between 2019 and 2021, making it America's fastest growing sport. Hi guys, welcome back to our channel. In today's video, we'll learn about an amazing sport called pickleball. What is it actually? From where did it emerge? Pickleball is an indoor or outdoor racket paddle sport where two players, singles, or four players, doubles, hit a perforated hollow polymer ball over a 36-inch high or 0.91 meter net using solid face paddles. Opponents on either side of the net hit the ball back and forth until one side commits a rule infraction. Pickleball was invented in 1965 as a children's backyard game on Bainbridge Island, Washington, USA. In 2022, pickleball was adopted as the official state sport of Washington. Humans have always been great at improvising. In today's world, improvisation can mostly be seen in the performing arts like drama, music, dance, theater, and even comedy. But thanks to mankind's ability to make the most out of every situation, we've even invented some of the world's most popular sports. For example, the origins of soccer started when humans filled up pig bladders to kick around on small makeshift courts. All for the purpose of passing time, and for the history of pickleball, it all began thanks to humans' innate desire for personal entertainment. Like all the great stories, pickleball came about on a sunny day with little to do. In 1965, two dads named Joel Pritchard and Bill Bell arrived at Pritchard's home on Bainbridge Island after a golf outing. They found that their families were bored with no way to pass the time. Looking to alleviate the boredom of his loved ones and close friends, Pritchard started to hatch a plan to bring an end to the group's summertime woes. Pritchard's property had an old badminton court, so they started there with hopes of playing. However, they couldn't find enough rackets for a full game, so instead, he improvised by using spare ping pong paddles and a wiffle ball. With these bits and pieces lying around, a brand new game was born. Today, you know it better as pickleball. As the weekend went on and time flew by, they enhanced their makeshift game further with their own set of house rules. At first, the net was set at badminton's regulation height of 60 inches, but the group found that the wiffle ball bounced well on their asphalt court, so they lowered it down to 36 inches. At this point, there weren't many rules to their game, so during the following weekend, Pritchard and Bell introduced their new creation to another family friend named Barney McCullum. From there, with heavy inspiration from badminton, the three dads created new rules with the sole purpose of family play and accessibility in mind. 2 years later in 1967, Joel Pritchard constructed the first permanent pickleball court in the backyard of Bob O'Brien, who was Pritchard's neighbor and close family friend. The decision to build a dedicated and permanent court further cemented their homemade game into a lovable pastime. As the game started to gain steam in the Pacific Northwest, a corporation by the name of Pickleball Inc. was founded in 1972 to help interested players buy equipment to play the game. This included paddles, nets, and balls that weren't taken from other racket games but were created specifically for pickleball. Not only did the founding of this corporation help people find the right equipment to play pickleball, but it helped transition the game from a local pastime to a legitimate sport. Fast forward to today, and you'll find that pickleball is the fastest growing sport in the United States, with international growth gaining steam. Currently, the USA Pickleball Association lists nearly 4,000 locations where you can play nationwide. To understand how pickleball's popularity has exploded to this point over the last 50 years, let's take a look at the nature of this fast-paced, friendly, and enjoyable sport. How is pickleball played? Despite how complicated the rules might sound, pickleball is easy to pick up with only a few matches of play. With such a friendly atmosphere at the core of the sport, other players will be more than happy to help you grasp the rules. The more you play, the quicker these rules will become second nature, so you can begin your journey on the road to mastery. The court. Pickleball is played on a badminton-sized court that measures 44 feet by 20 feet. The net measures 36 inches on the sides and droops down to 34 inches in the middle. These are the standard regulations for both singles and doubles play. The serve. Starting on the right-hand service zone and then alternating between serves, the server starts by standing behind the baseline at the end of the court. Then, with the paddle below the waist, the ball must be served underhanded to the diagonal opponent's service zone. So, for example, if you serve from your left service zone, then the ball must land in the opponent's left service zone and vice versa. Serves must clear both the net and the non-volley zone, including the non-volley lines. If the ball touches this line during the serve, it's considered a fault. During a serve, the ball cannot bounce on the ground and must be hit while in the air. Additionally, both feet must be behind the baseline during service. Only one attempt at serving is allowed, unless the ball hits the net and lands in the proper service court. In this case, this is known as a let, and the server gets another chance. Serving sequence. In a doubles match, each player gets to serve until a fault occurs. The only exception to this rule occurs during the first service of each game, where only one player from the initial serving side gets to serve before service is given to the other team. Each time service passes between teams, the first serve is always done from the right-hand court. If you score, then you switch to the left side of the court to serve. Players who serve are allowed to keep doing so until a fault occurs. For doubles games of doubles, if the first server commits a fault, then their partner serves from the same side of the court as the first server did. Volleys. Players can only volley the ball if their feet are behind the non-volley zone line. If they step over the line, even during their follow-through, it's considered a fault. Okay, now you know how it all started, but the question we're all thinking still remains. Why do they call pickleball, well, pickleball? According to the USA Pickleball Association, the origins of the name differs between different accounts. Joel Pritchard's wife, Joan, started to call their game pickleball because the combination of different sports reminded me of the pickle boat in Crew, where oarsmen were chosen from the leftovers of other boats. But according to Barney McCullum, they named the game after Pritchard's dog, who was, as you might have guessed, named Pickles. Despite the sour taste of actual pickles, their dog was sweet and known to run off with the ball while it was still being played. Depending on who you ask, both accounts of the game's name may actually be true. At the start, there wasn't any name for pickleball until an official one was needed when the game started to gain traction. With the laid-back nature of pickleball, it's only appropriate that it was named in a similar fashion. Pickleball is as fun as the name suggests, if you enjoy racket and paddle-based sports. Even if you don't play any sports, it's easy to get started in pickleball. The equipment and gameplay are just as fun and peculiar as the name, and players have described it as addictive because of the physical and social aspects. Pickleball is easy to learn, even more so because of how friendly the community is. Whether you're surprised or not, there's no denying that the unusual name of the sport didn't hold pickleball back. Pickleball is a name that has passed the test of time, and it isn't hard to see why. The game and community are fun and diverse and don't take themselves too seriously, which is another reason why pickleball continues to be the fastest growing sport in the USA. As big as pickleball has gotten as an international sport, it's never grown too big for its humble and lighthearted beginnings. Pickleball took off as a sport due to its simplicity and family-friendly nature. Initially drawn in by the peculiar naming conventions of the sport, people stay for everything else it has to offer. Pickleball is a very affordable activity that has spread quickly through community centers, parks, physical education programs, and even retirement communities. How pickleball got its name isn't as clear-cut as some would hope. Many would say that it got its name from the family dog, whereas others suggest the name came from a term commonly used in sailing or rowing. Regardless of which pickleball name story is true, the name pickleball seems to perfectly fit the odd and random nature of the game itself. The growing availability of the sport makes it an easy, affordable option for the whole family. Hope this video added some value to your thoughts. Do share your views in the comment section below. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so and hit the notification bell. See you in the next video.